What's up, guys? This is your captain, recapping the action in Game 5 between the Etherials and the Dapper squad. Etherials took the first 3 games of this series, quickly sending the Dapper squad to the bottom bracket. Meanwhile, in Game 4, with the pressure off, Dapper was able to come up with a win of their own, and I imagine they're looking to continue that streak. I was able to spectate this game, and yeah. So we got some roster changes going on over here. Nope. No roster changes. I just wanted to make sure you guys were looking. But yeah, so the Dapper squad is captained by Bihan. He gave his team the first victory of the day in the game prior. He's joined by New Mutator, Switch, Cryptos, HMP, Jarl, and Viper Power. In the north side, we got the Etherials, captained by No Master. All day he's been putting in work as a captain. Then we have Mouse Leisure, Revan, Renwood. I guess I'm subbing and taking units. But on the Etherials roster also is YOLO and Freak Nasty, finishing out the pack. So let's look at these trades real briefly and see what's going on. Put the chat up. That way you guys can peep. So as you'll see, the Etherials are opting for much more artillery here. They're going heavy. 4 Warlocks, 6 Mortars. That's pretty heavy trade for artillery, especially some of these morts could just be handed out. I mean, every player could pretty much get a mort here. You don't need to keep them all bunched up. And it would also allow players to play to their strengths. I think one of the Etherials' strengths is they're more kind of free-for-all oriented rather than 2-team oriented. And in that way, if there was more balance of units, maybe they would be playing better rather than having specific players do specific groups and archers. Look, I'm not even moving. Meanwhile, we got Dapper, much less artillery, but that enables them to get some more melee, quite an abundance of archers too, so they'll be able to poke holes in the Etherials units for sure. Etherials also opting for no pus. No Master bringing forward 3 whites for the play. Maybe he just no, I don't see any goals for Etherials, so it's part of the strategy. Problem is, you can't sneak these tags. This must be in the line of sight by now. And YOLO's gonna take the first shot. Oh, we got first blood by HMP, but Mal is gonna blow up his mort. Meanwhile, HMP following up with a more shot of his own, wiping out a plethora of units mid, and already Team Dapper, they are up well over a 10% advantage now, as another shot. Oh, we got Viper Power blowing up his own stuff. HMP hits some of Mal's melee, and percents are fairly even again, actually. I think I said 10% advantage and wasn't even reading what the percentages were. Plus, it's gonna go down. HMP tried to bring it through the mid of the map. There's still 8 minutes left, so these guys are kind of just push heavy right now with both teams, and they're trying to make a lot of action happen. A lot of Ethereal units just clumping up mid here. A J-Man is gonna go down for the Dapper, giving the Etherials a nice 4% lead. Another J-Man going down. But Kryptos is gonna get flanked by Revan. Does he get the shot? No, it's not long enough, and no Master getting passed over here. See, right now the Dapper Dan team is able to surround and pinch the Etherials, who are very artillery heavy, not spreading out. HMP's like, hey, I blew up a bunch of shit. Give me some more units, new mutator. And the pressure's kind of off now. You know, a quick more shot's gonna go off. Kryptos is gonna take down some units. But other than that, a lot of the intensity in the early game, I mean, we shaved off about 80–90% total from the game in less than the first half of the game. Of course, this is when Dapper Dan gets to play to their strengths. They have large groups of archers, and now that they've whittled down the amount of artillery on the Etherials, they can pretty much control the map for the rest of the game. We'll have to see if there's any ill shots, but they seem to only be coming from Dapper Dan and not the Etherials, so it's not going in their favor. There we go. Revan, he's taking down Kryptos' Warlock. Nice shot. Trying to swing the momentum back into the Etherials' favor. Unfortunately, they are facing a large disadvantage here. Finally spreading out a little bit, though. The advantage on Lamoth is spreading out and really outflanking, outmaneuvering your opponents. So many players, they're not moving their camera. They're gonna sit there. They're gonna tunnel. And every once in a while, man, catch them slipping and it's over. Kryptos is gonna block that Warlock shot this time. I don't think so, Revan, he says. Renwood gonna lose an archer here to VFP's Warlock. But besides that, it's looking close to over. With only 4:30 left, there's an almost 20% advantage, and in games like Territories or Flag Rally, Capture the Flag, you have a much better opportunity of being able to make some sort of game type save at the end of the game down 20% than you are, say, on a last man on the hill, especially without the hill or range advantage. Simply the odds are just too stacked in the enemy's favor, and they would have to make some crucial mistakes. As you can see, a lot of the ethereal units are badly injured. Exchange of Warlock shots almost takes out some archers, but it seems Dapper Dan is just going to slowly continue pecking away at the Etherials units. New mutator. Our problem is too much aggression. This is how the first 3 games should have went. I mean, yeah, you guys really the Dapper Dan squad controlled the tempo here pretty well on this map. they were able to get the Etherials to just make the decision to clump all the artillery in this small little pocket, making it relatively easy to just lay into them and also maintain in regards to the cooldown on mortar shots and warlock shots, artillery barrages. What I'm trying to say is Dapper Dan needed less in an area to do more, pretty much. Etherials just had too much in that area to really make a difference unless they had some micro-heavy players managing those units. And it would have to be like, you know, mortars always blocking enemy warlock shots, warlocks, you know, maintaining their mana, constantly getting off shots. If you know, as soon as you get a shot down that warlock's back, then a new one's coming up, and you really have to barrage like that, especially to have any hope bottlenecking, besides retreating, of course, you know. But it doesn't matter much, as the Etherials, despite losing this game, are going to move on in the bottom bracket. I believe they will face Valbara next. And the Dapper Dan are going to the elimination bracket, which is below the bottom bracket somehow. Might as well call it the below bracket. But
30 seconds.
Their next matchup will be in elimination. We'll have to see who they're against. But they will have a bye week off during the week 3 matches. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let's go through the stats, recap the match, and yeah, call it a wrap. Check out yeah, screw the numbers, dude. I'm tired of it. Let's look at the lines here, the line graphs. Oh, perfect game to do this because one of the teams is black, and of course you can't see it. But I will point it out here. There was a point in time when Etherials led in kills, and it was towards the very beginning of the game, and then right about here they just kind of flatline while Dapper Dan picks up momentum and just continues to take their units off the map. Over here in damage, though, looks like the Etherials never actually had a damage advantage during the game. You know, besides the fact that maybe at the beginning they didn't get pus, so there's some negative damage going on, but perhaps Vihan protected his whites and fed them to cryptos. I mean, that's what I would do. So we got Dapper Dan, captained by Vihan. He's got 5 kills, 7 losses, and pulling off 11 damage. I'm not sure if he told his team to spread out, but they did, and it played to their advantage. HMP coming up big for his team in this game. If he had shown up a little bit more, I don't know, in game 3, 2, it could have been a completely different match. But he's coming through here with 71 damage, almost out damaging the entire enemy team by himself. 17 kills, putting in work. 10 losses total, but at the end of the day, this is one of Dapper Dan's best BC players, and it totally played to their advantage here on Last Man on the Hill. Next up, we got Switch, who has 10 kills, 1 loss. Very fine ratios, Mr. Switch. He's got 42 damage. Second highest on his team. Good job, man. Shout out to his Civil War tournament. Feel free to get in on those games, which are happening on the weekends, usually following TWS matches. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, hop on the server around 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and if Switch is on, he might be organizing a Blue and Gray event. And it's its own third-party plugin. Feel free to check that out with other people interested in playing that almost long forgotten, but clearly not ancient plugin. New Mutator, 8 kills. How much damage you got, bud? 31 damage and a loss. Again, nice ratios. Same with Cryptos. 7 kills, 1 loss, 22 damage. All these guys just really outplaying their opponents, playing a bit more patient. New Mutator warned that they were playing a bit too aggressive, and I think he was just referring to like the first 3 games, because this game they played it nice and slow. Etherials got bottlenecked up, and they just outpositioned their opponents. Next up we got Viper Power, 2 kills, 3 damage, 0 losses. Good job. You know, not losing a unit. There you go. You got something going for you, man. And Jobble Toad, 1 kill, 7 losses, 5 damage. He's out damaging Viper Power. There you go, man. Something going for you. So, in this last victory, even though they ended up losing the match, you can see when Dapper Dan get the cogs rolling, you know, sometimes the puzzle pieces fit, and they can find glory in their gameplay, despite being faced with elimination so early. And let's go down to Etherials. I guess I didn't end up playing. There we go, good. So straight up, these were the 2 teams then. No subs involved. And who do we got? Leading for the Etherials, we have Mal Sleasure. 12 kills, 8 losses, 42 damage, leading his team in damage. I personally think Mal's one of the Etherials' better BC players, and I feel like you can see this reflected in the score right here, but also he's a much more patient player than perhaps some of these other players aren't as reserved in their play, and so I think that totally plays to his advantage on game type like Lamoth, and he was able to put in some work here, whereas some of his other teammates had some troubles. Renwood, 3 and 19, took a brunt of the losses, but you know Redwood, he's never afraid to ask for more units. He puts in 32 damage, which is the only other double-digit score in damage on the Etherials team in this game. No Master the Captain, putting up 7 damage, no whites healed, but 1 kill and 8 loss. A rough ratio game, but not as much as for Yellow, 1 and 11, which that hurts even more. Only putting up 4 damage. I feel like he was one of the players who ended up getting bottlenecked mid, and then, I mean, by the end of the game, they're kind of just throwing units to try to get any sort of advantage, or try to get the Dapper Dan players to make a mistake and bomb their own units, and I mean, that's just these ratios are a result of, you know, how the game played out. Revan, I won't forget you, my friend. 1 kill, 3 losses, 5 damage. Doing what he could. He stayed alive for an ill minute. Yeah, he's the only player with the units left right now, too. Also the only player to flank for the Etherials, and when you play a last man on the hill, where it could be, I mean, the teams practically line up And if you don't, then the team that is lining up, they're going to be able to move around you, and if you end up trying to push, you're just going to get surrounded even faster. So anyone out there watching, if you're playing in future weeks, you know the game is last man on the hill, trying to improve your play. I mean, maybe you already know what to do, but hey, try to play it patiently. The more patient you are, usually the better off you are. You gotta try and get information. But this last game, you know, I will say the Etherials, they had already won the match 3 games ago. They're probably drunk as hell by now. I'm sure YOLO's popping champagne. So, on to the next match. I will see you then. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast and enjoyed the games. I certainly did. It's great to see these teams not have to use any subs and show up in full force and put on some great games. So, until next time, guys, have a good one.